Hello, YouTube. It's me. It's Michael B, and it's Monday night, so you know what that means. It's time for another episode of Chill and Chat with Michael B. Tonight should be a fun show. I did a show last week that was all doom and gloom for the whole home arcade space after the GRS New Wave Toys announcement came out. Cool product for those interested in that, but a lot of people had our hearts set on New Wave Toys releasing something that would compete directly with Arcade1Up, a large-scale arcade product. So finding out that wasn't coming in 2024 kind of took the wind out of a lot of people's sails. So we didn't have a lot of hope going forward. The only product we knew about that we could confirm was, in fact, the Atgames Legends Ultimate 4K that was going to be coming out in December. But this past week, some new things have come up, some new people, some new faces, some new players in the game have stuck their flags in the ground, and they're ready to show their, I don't know what it is, their coming forward moment and them staking their claim in the home arcade space where Arcade1Up may have left an opening for these companies to come in. Of course, I'm talking about Buy Stuff Arcades, Evercade, JohnD LLC, whatever the hell that is. We think it's going to be called the One Upper or the Standard Upper. We don't really know. Anyways, they have created a little bit of a ripple in the timeline, a little bit of a shift in the dimension, and there may be some new hope. So we'll talk about that, and I'll give my opinion on if you should be excited as an Arcade1Up and a home arcade recreation fan, or should you be cautiously optimistic, or don't get your hopes up. We're still just relying on Arcade1Up. Anyways, I'm going to tell you all about it right after this. You're watching Chill and Chat with Michael B. Jaster Mariel knows what it is. New shit has come to light, man. New shit. Things are changed. It's a different landscape now. Mofos, new shit. 19K Fox. Do we have a release date for the Frogger XL? Like, I don't understand why anyone would have believed that. For God's sakes. Everybody's like, well, obviously he knows. He works for Arcade1Up. Arcade1Up doesn't even know what they're releasing. Man, it's amazing what some people will jump on and hope for when there's no news, right? So anyways, I apologize for messing with people on that one. It wasn't my intention really to mess with anybody so much as just kind of have a little fun talking about how there's no news out there. No J-Pace, no Outrun Deluxe. I'm sorry. It was just me messing around. All hope is lost. Hey, and it's my fault. Damn it. So, yeah, I see some people mentioning Bill's Retro Gaming Company's gaming show says JohnD's new company is called Media One Up LLC. And I also saw somebody else say that. Where else is it? I don't want to miss the other person who said it. Decadent Dave, Media One Up. So is that official now, guys? Is that out there in the ether? Does everybody know that? Don't tell PD7. No, I'm gonna have to write PD7 and apologize. I can't believe it. Phil, what are you doing, man? I'm sorry, brother. Anyways, so guys, I'm waiting to see your comments here. Is who? So you said it on your show, Fox? Here we go. Jason Little Alien. Here's a man I can count on and a man I can trust. It's odd. In March 2023, Media One Up LLC was licensed in Delaware too until this recent one. I wonder what that's all about. 19K Fox sleuthed it out yesterday. Well, goodness gracious, Fox, way to sleuth it out since JohnD told us about 4 months ago. I just wanted to know if it was officially out there yet. Whoa! Sleuthing. So if 19K Fox told everybody, and if 19K Fox told everybody, and Bill mentioned it earlier this week, so we can call it now, it's officially official. JohnD's company is called Media1Up. I will be honest with you, I don't know about that. It's an interesting name. We'll have to see what it is. I guess, you think of a company name like Arcade1Up, and you're really limited in what you're going to deliver. Like pretty much everybody, every time you release a product that isn't arcade related, people are going to say, well, your company's called Arcade1Up. What the fuck are you releasing a Infinity game board for? With a company name like Media1Up, I mean, obviously it deals with different forms of media. So yeah, there you go. It's officially unofficial. There you go. Anyways, Media1Up. So I'm not going to change the poll. Arcade. See, now I would have preferred this Arcade7Up. Now that's a name. I'm all about that. uh, I love this one from MG. He couldn't get not Arcade1Up honest. So anyways, I don't know. Media1Up. Let's see if that sticks. But anyways, that's a name JohnD's going with right now. And I guess it's trying to open it up that it's not just home arcades and stuff like that. It can be many different forms of media you consume. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, so we've got a ripple in time. Bill, I've got to go back and watch his video, 19K Fox's live stream. Caught the end of it last night. A media firm. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's handling your media. It's a communications firm. They're going to do internal communications for your companies. Media mushrooms. All right, guys. So anyways, let's talk about a ripple in the multiverse that happened last week. We've got 3 new players in the space coming to challenge Arcade1Up for the throne. So the first thing, I mean, you can look at my thumbnail. Pretty simple thumbnail for me, but I just took a bunch of arcades. There's very specific ones and color schemes for very specific reasons. But anyways, I put their logos out there, and it's all about A New Hope. Like obviously that's Luke with some dude's face on it. And we're talking about these 3 new pieces that came up that are going to come possibly before the Atgames Legends Ultimate 4K comes out. So will there be anything that's exciting? I want to kind of talk about these, suss it out a little bit, and tell you what to kind of expect going forward. So the first one is probably the easiest one that I want to talk about, and I think this is one that I can talk about the least because I kind of know what it is. I don't actually know. I was having a little bit of fun on Super Game Room Dudes this past week because I love giving P-Dubs a hard time to make him think that companies tell everybody but him things because like he gets upset about it. It's just fun. So anyways, the Evercade Alpha coming soon. If you guys watch Brooklyn Menace is on the right track with this, I think. It looks like it's some kind of arcade product. I'm almost 100% certain it's some kind of arcade product. The only thing is, I don't know what exactly it is. So I said this is something new and exciting. Of course, it's going to be arcade related because Evercade has an arcade collection line. There's no way to play it. We don't know 100% what it could be. Maybe it's just a controller that works with the VS or works with the system so you can play with arcade controls. Maybe it's a standalone unit like Brooklyn Menace has mentioned in his coverage. I got a feeling for people looking for a standalone home arcade product, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. But the question is this something that's going to compete with Arcade1Up, fill in a space, a gap that's missing in the home arcade space? And that's what I don't really know what to say. For those of you thinking that maybe Evercade is making like 3/4 or full size home arcade products, I wouldn't jump to that conclusion. I mean, this is a company right now that have been making like consoles. They've been making handhelds. So a jump to an actual arcade is a pretty big leap. So what my guess on this is, and it's a pretty simple one, I think what Evercade's doing here, and I'm going to take this down so I can go full screen. I think what Evercade's doing here is maybe it's an all-in-one type unit. I don't know what it will be. Maybe a tabletop unit, who knows? Or maybe, like I said, a controller. But I don't know if it's going to be arcade recreation or just, something branded like a base Evercade cabinet that then you can plug your carts into and play their arcade collection lineup. Chris Lang says countercade style system. That's possibly maybe something like a partycade. Jason Lillian says it'll be like the My Arcade Atari Mega with a screen that was shown at January CES, but will play Evercade carts. Yeah. And Mike Hockert says already confirmed it is compatible with the Evercade USB controllers, so I'm sure it uses the cart. Yeah. They bought all the Visco bar tops and rebranded them. Don't kick yourself. Those Visco bar tops, although a lot of people were probably like, man, that product makes no sense. Who gives a shit about Visco? From what I understand, the Hilo Hack works on that. So if you're looking for a Hilo Hack compatible bar top type, countercade or whatever the hell it was, you might want to go back and look at that Visco countercade and then Hilo Hack it and play whatever the hell you want on it, because apparently it's Hilo hackable. Visco is hackable. Langs knows. Yeah, so I mean, here's the thing, like we can hope and pray. It's exciting to talk about this Evercade Alpha. We think it's going to be arcade based, but I don't know if it's exactly in the realms of what I'm talking about. I think this is going to be more along the lines of using their cartridges, basically something that's going to focus on Evercade's home arcade base. I don't know if they're going to be looking at doing recreation arcade stuff. We'll see in a little time. Yeah, I'm so excited for the announcement. I am too, Brooklyn. I love Evercade, and the announcement's coming on the 30th. So it's in, I don't know if it's on my thumbnail or not, but yeah, Thursday, May 30th, we should have the announcement for the Evercade Alpha, whatever the hell it is. And then I've got to reconfirm with the guys, but I think they're going to be on Super Game Room Dudes this Friday to kind of talk about everything that the Alpha is. So we'll see. I'm just trying to catch up. I don't know if he ever did see Marvel. I know the machine is hackable, but I don't know if P-Dubs got there. Yeah, I have no idea. I know P-Dubs is struggling right now to catch up on like all the review products he's got to do and wants to do. So I don't know if he did a hack video on the Visco Mini. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, so guys, with the Evercade Alpha, I think this is going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they deliver this Thursday. But in terms of a recreation arcade, especially one like, either 3/4 scale or larger, I don't think you're going to find your fit there. I don't think we're going to find that gap that Arcade1Up has left behind and that, we thought New Wave Toys were going to fill. I don't think the Evercade Alpha is going to do that. So let's go to our next subject now. And this one might be one of the most interesting ones. And that is our friends over at Buy Stuff Arcades. So yeah, who the hell saw this coming? I mean, if you've been following Buy Stuff on their Facebook page, so I've got it open here. They're waiting to get to 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, they've hit 10,000 members now. They've hit the point. So this announcement should be coming anytime soon. From what I understand, they're going to be doing some posters to kick off our 10,000 subscriber celebration. We're offering a discount on our new poster print options just launched. Pick from over 30 designs and 4 sizes. So 10,000 subs with minimum $50 order. You can go get some posters. That's if you like their posters. Oh my God, look at this. This is the coolest fucking thing. Sorry for swearing so much, but a wood grain Games Legends pinball. That is awesome. I know my buddy Edzo, EdT1138 is looking at that saying, yeah, I need that in my life. A wood grain Legends pinball It's the wood that makes it good. I've never seen that before. Anyways, they do a bunch of art, and all this stuff is going to come in and make sense in a little bit. So we saw this ad just the other day. It's alive and spectacular. This is the second part of the ad. The first part, if I can find it, going down here, scrolling through all these stupid pictures. Here's the original one. Home arcades in 2024 have been dull. Should we turn that upside down? So it looks like, as we can see here, Buy Stuff Store is about to really try to launch out in the home arcade space. For those of you not familiar with Buy Stuff Store, they've been around and a big part of the home arcade space for a number of years now. It's funny because no one really knows how they got started. I've talked about it a couple times, but back a couple of years ago, when Atgames wasn't in Canada yet for the Legends Ultimate or the upcoming pinball, Atgames actually needed a retail partner to team with in order to get them into the country. And they didn't have one at the time. And lo and behold, this little company out of Ontario, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, might be just a little bit outside, actually stepped up and worked with them. So I kind of helped as well. I took the first 20 orders from the Facebook page that I was part of that my buddy Conti Dinda runs. So I took the first 20 orders for the first ever 20 Atgames Legends Ultimate cabs that were going to be sold here in Canada. Buy Stuff Store then imported them in from Atgames, sold them here in Canada. They did a second order as well, and that started the relationship between Atgames and Buy Stuff Store. Then from on top of that, Buy Stuff Store kept working with Atgames, but then they started doing their own thing. Instead of just selling Atgames products, they were like, hey, we got some really cool ideas on how we can ramp this shit up. So they came out with all kinds of stuff, like a pedestal stand for the Legends Gamer Pro controller. That was really awesome. Created an arcade experience all on its own. Then they came out with this crazy idea for this converting stand to go with your Legends Gamer that would have a TV on it, that would shift from an arcade to a pinball machine. It's all kinds of crazy stuff. And it just went from there. They kept building enhancements to Atgames and other arcades line of products until they became a company in themselves and a known factor in the home arcade space. We got a $2 super chat here from Jaster Mariel. Will there be new 4K pinball tables Wednesday in June? I don't know. I don't know what Atgames are doing now. I mean, they dedicated to putting out, like, I think 15 different skins. So we got like 10 to go, or, I think 2 of those skins are the standards. So maybe we have 13 to go. I don't know when they're going to be unveiling them. I have absolutely no information on that. Papa Brad, who's here in the chat, he's part of the Atgames Skype thread that they tell the information. He can tell you. We don't have any idea. They'll tell us like pretty much right before the announcement goes out. So I can't say. There we go. Yeah, and thank you very much for the super chat, Jaster Mariel. And like we like to do with our first super chat of the night, we celebrate. You got to give the people what they want. And apparently, according to our poll tonight, what they want is, in fact, 51% right now with 109 votes, 50% with 111 votes. JohnD LLC 1-upper. So Media 1-up's product is what most people are excited about right now, leading the pack by a wide margin. Yeah, Jason Little Alien, the greatest moderator in the home arcade space, knows 12 skins to go, 18 months left. And Bill's Retro Gaming Show, he's in there as well. Yeah, we're lucky if we get an hour's notice on stuff from Atgames. We never do. It's literally, this post just went up. It's the same thing. That's what we hear. So, anyways, guys, going back to this conversation, Buy Stuff Store, after that, they've come out with a bunch of stuff. They're always accessories. So, they came out with the Buy Stuff back box, which I have rocking on my LP right there. Awesome advancement in what they're doing. They've come out with a new screen replacement. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but it's always been an accessory or something to use with an existing home arcade product. Now they have come out with like some of their own stuff. I haven't been following it too closely. Like they've come out with their own shooter kits and different things like that. This seems to be their very own product, and we're very interested to see what it is. Now, I want to say for people looking for a recreation arcade, obviously, I don't think that's Buy Stuff Store. Buy Stuff Store aren't going to go out there, get the licensing rights, and make a one-for-one cabinet based off arcade. So for people looking for that fill-in for Arcade1Up to do what New Wave Toys was doing, I think you're barking up the wrong tree with Buy Stuff Store. If they're doing anything, it's going to be a general multicade line. That's my guess, but I could be incredibly wrong. My guess is it's some kind of multicade thing, whether it be a driving multicade, a shooting multicade, something along those lines. But where it does get interesting for the people looking and interested in what Buy Stuff does is the fact that they do all their own printing and they can skin it whatever way you want. So whatever product they come out with, say for example, it's some kind of shooting multicade, it might not have the exact form factor of the original, but you can bet your ass whatever you want on that, they'll skin it exactly like you want. If you want a House of the Dead, you can probably make it look like House of the Dead, Area 51, Carnival. Let's all get Carnival cabs. Anything you want, they'll be able to skin it that way. That's my guess on Buy Stuff Store. I think it's going to be something along those lines. I think it's going to be super interesting. The other thing I will warn you about ahead of time, I think it's going to be expensive too. If you're not familiar, just let me bring this down. Let me go to buystuffstore.com. You have to keep in mind their products are expensive. They're a small shop. They're not a major industry. They don't have the economy of scale that some other companies do, making like 4,000 or 5,000 units and getting all that shit. So let me just bring up Buy Stuff Arcades and give you an example of what I'm talking about. So awesome guys make incredible products, but it is pricey. Like, those of us in the home arcade space, we're used to being able to buy like $300 arcades and shit like that. That's not what you're getting here. So anyways, there's the nostalgia racing cade, or at least part of it. So you can buy your own racing cab kit. So let's take a look at this one. So this is like basically all what you get here. Cab base is $431 Canadian. Seat base $569.94. Back box, you're up to $1,085.39. Let's do the screen mount is in there. Graphics plain black. Then if you want to go something else like Battle Pod, boom, Star Wars Battle Pod. That's what Fox should have done instead of getting a real one. Just done this racing cab kit. T-molding color. Let's go with red. So when you add all those up, I mean, that's your price point you're looking at here. I mean, for the racing cab kit, what you're getting included, and yeah, I mean, that's build your cab kit, and then you're picking accessories. Pick accessories too. Cup holder. I don't know about gaming box. So add the gaming box. How much is this going to bring it up to? $1,510.05. So incredible products, but also this is more like a build type thing, and it is going to be pricey. I mean, what's that in USA dollars? Oh, you want the USA dollars? Let me change it. So US dollars. Let's refresh US dollars. See if it comes up for you. US dollars. Here we go. Wheel control deck. We're up to $199. Build your kit. So we're going cab, seat, back box, and then we're going graphics. We're going to do Battle Pod again. So we're up to $1,100 US. And then pick accessories too. Wheel control deck, deck graphics, Daytona. Well, we would do Battle Pod, obviously, if it's here. Star Wars Battle Pod. USB port, pedals. You got to add a gaming box. Sound system. Got to go standard with the sound system. Pedals. Yeah, you're going to need Arcade1Up pedals, Thrustmaster adapter. Let's go with the Arcade1Up pedals. I mean, this starts to build up. It's 1,458. So, yeah, I mean, this. Oh, I don't know if he is. I assumed he was. Isn't he? Ian says their cabs are too bulky. They need to streamline it, make it simple. They did do that. So I want to go back to their website. Like, I'm not trying to completely shit on them, but take a look at this. Here's the one, the buy stuff back box. I got it myself, and it was like $900 Canadian by the time I got it. The guys took really good care of me because they also did what was it, plexiglass on the screen for free. They just threw it in for me, so I was really thankful for that. But like, here it is, that streamlining. They got a budget back box for ALP HD for $299. So they obviously do understand that there's a part of the community would love to have their product, but do find it a little bit pricey. So they do offer streamline options like that. Anyways, going back to the art and shit like that, you can see custom art graphics for the ALP HD. This is what I'm talking about. So whenever they come out with a product, you can do whatever you want, front, back, left, change it. So you can do whatever ones you want, write a review. So, I mean, backbox style. How do I change what backbox I want? I obviously don't want this. So AC/DC Lucy. So let's go Addams Family. Now that's a customs Addams Family. That's not the Addams Family I would have went with. Attack from Mars. See what they did. They did Attack from Mars right. Ooh, that actually looks really good. Well, I just like the Attack from Mars art all the time anyways. So you can do custom lead notes like P-Dubs did his Cubert Cubes. Here's Batman 66 Purple. Yeah, that's sure. Back to the Future. Of course, they're doing their own custom design there. And you can ask for whatever you want. Let's see if we can... Big Trouble in Little China. That's what I'm talking about. If they made a Big Trouble in Little China pinball, I would be very, very, very happy. So, guys, I know I am playing up the fact that they are expensive, but at the same time, they do really good work. The reason why I'm showing you this stuff is give you an idea of what they can do and what price point you might be looking at. So I think it's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be multicade. I think you're going to be able to do whatever you want with it. But for those people looking for something that's going to be a home arcade product, down around the $300 to $500 range, US, I don't think this is something. I don't think this is what you're going to be looking for. I don't think this is what's on the horizon. They need to make this new style gun pedestal bare bone. Maybe. I certainly hear, Ian, that they're doing it with the budget back box for the ALP HD. So I think they know there's an opportunity for everything. And I think eventually they'll do budget versions of what they can. Of course, they're going to try to get their, top tier line out first. That's what they do. Hey, there it is. Racing cab kit includes shipping across North America. Good to see you buy stuff arcades. Let's see. Calvin Wong. I'm glad Buy Stuff is doing many things for the arcade community and wants to give us what they can. They care. 100%. Awesome people. We had a chance to meet them in Cleveland. Just really good people. Really excited to see what they have here. I could be completely wrong. I have no idea what it is. They won't tell me. I haven't really asked. Maybe P-Dub knows. I don't know. But I'm excited to see what it is when they finally announce it. Yeah. So exciting to see what Buy Stuff has coming out. Anyways, guys, moving on from Buy Stuff, let's talk about the other ripple in the horizon, the other person that's making waves in the home arcade space. And it's the person we already kind of talked about. It's this guy, JohnD, formerly of Arcade1Up. He's got his own company now, JohnD LLC, as we've been calling it, Arcade1Upper, and it looks like apparently it's going to be called Media One Up, according to our buddy Bill's Retro Gaming Show and 19K Fox's Sleuthing. So, what is Media One Up coming to market with? Well, the big thing that we know about Media One Up doing recently that everybody's been talking about, we probably all seen the video from Bill's Retro Gaming Show where he did the Where's Waldo, Where's John D, and he talked about this, that John D was at the licensing expo last week, John Diamonin, with his new company as a visitor, going around and making connections, well, reaffirming connections for his business. So, as Sheline Gaming says, is that the Bellagio? He was at Mandalay Bay. Sounds interesting. Caveman Money Shot says, hope you have something great soon. Yet you're there. Look. Bill's Retro Gaming Show, always fishing for an angle. There he is. Always fishing for an angle. And I love this because we might be in that category here. You're my only hope. The reality, guys, right now might be that if there is anybody out there in the home arcade space that's looking to do a home arcade recreation that has, that history, that passion of working with these companies to come out, bring something out that's large scale, that might not be a commercial arcade, looks like a commercial arcade, a toy recreation version. I think the reality is right now, until New Wave Toys gets their shit up and running, our only hope at an actual recreation type arcade, something competitive with Arcade1Up, might be with John D. And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like John D. They have problems with him as a person. I saw Shotgun Sean say some stuff about him earlier. But the reality is this may be the only person looking to do it. And if you are looking for something that is Arcade1Up like, or something that would fit in with your Arcade1Ups, that's not a multicade with arcade art, or that's not something completely different, something that is like an Arcade1Up. I keep saying it. There's no other way to say it. A recreation of a classic arcade. John D might be the best bet. Other than, I don't know, there's other options. I did really quickly want to tell you about this. I'll see if I can find the picture. I'm going to bring it down for a second. So there is one other option out there that's already out, and they're releasing something new, actually. So let me just see if I can go in my downloads and find what I want to show you, because, yeah, where is this shit? Let's see if I can find it. And if I didn't grab it, I didn't grab it. But yeah, I didn't grab it, unfortunately. So I'll just tell you about it. I saw for the first time when I was in the Calgary airport on the way home. I was passing by something in the hallway, and I finally saw a Pac-Man Pixel Bash for the very first time. And this is a $2,000 arcade product. And I got to tell you, I thought it was kind of junky. Like, honestly, for all the people that are like, oh, man, Arcade1Up is shit. This is a commercial product that's also shitty. It looks shitty. It's too small. I'm sure the buttons and sticks are a little bit better, but it's a shitty product. At no point did I look at this and say, oh, man, I wish I didn't have my Arcade1Up Pac-Man XL. I looked at my Arcade1Up the Pixel Bash, and I was like, God damn it, I'm glad I have the Arcade1Up Pac-Man XL. The Pixel Bash kind of looks like shit. I know they're coming out with a Class of 81 that doesn't really do much for me, but like, other than that, that's like the only other option I can think of right now in terms of arcade recreations. So, other than Arcade1Up, John D might be the only game in town, Media One Up. Now, the question is, what exactly is John D making? Is he making arcade recreations? Well, that's what I don't know about. Obviously, he's coming out of the Arcade1Up camp. And if you listen to some of the feedback from people that worked in Arcade1Up, here we go. There he is, the man himself. The rumors about my deal falling through is misinformation. Don't believe that source. I can't wait to share what I'm doing, but it will happen soon. Game on. Peace. Someone said your deal fell apart. What's wrong with people? Why are people so negative? John, so good to see you. Your ears must be burning. We're talking about you. Yeah, I know, I know. I was really underwhelmed by the Pixel Bash. I really, really sorry. Yeah, going back to John's comment, I don't know why anybody said his deal was falling apart or who would have information on that. Who knows, man? Like, I don't friggin' know. I hope it doesn't because, like I'm just saying now, and I'm not laying it on thick. I'm just telling you the truth. We know that New Wave Toys aren't coming out with something to compete with Arcade1Up this year. They're coming out with a Replicade Golden Tee and Glenn's control panel, which is really cool. Happy for those guys. Happy for the people in the community that are interested in doing that. But for the people that wanted recreation arcades, it's not happening. So, is Evercade Alpha a full-size arcade or three-quarter scale arcade? I kind of doubt it. I don't think that's what it is. I have a pretty good idea that that's not what it is, so don't get your hopes up that way. Buy Stuff Arcades, no idea what it is, but I would be very surprised it isn't some kind of multicade thing. But people are saying it's a line, so maybe I'm wrong on that. We'll take a little bit of time and find out exactly what it is. And according to John, who just popped in to tell us his deal didn't fall through and everything's good. Good. So now we wait to see exactly what he's moving forward with. Now, I did start on saying this. Is he doing an arcade recreation? He obviously has all the experience from his time working with Arcade1Up, but he also has the negative side of doing that. So for people that are like, well, John's just going to make Arcade1Ups. Yes, it's possible, but it's also possible he doesn't because he also saw the negative side of what Arcade1Up does, how that impacts things, how they're stuck with the retailers, how they're stuck with other things. So I don't know for sure if he's just going to do a competing product with Arcade1Up. Do I think it'll compete in the home arcade space? Yes. But will it be the same thing? I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, I know the name Media One Up. We all kind of know that now, but I don't know what his product is. It was supposed to be unveiled in April. Looks like it's pushed back a little bit now, so time will tell. Hopefully we get something soon, some kind of friggin' tease. One idea I had was that this will be a different product. This will be like an arcade, one-up type product, so it'll be something like that. But where I think this is going to be different is that it's not going to be like a recreation, like New Wave Toys, when they do their full size or three-quarter, whatever they can do to compete with Arcade1Up, it's going to be like 1, 2, or 3 games and kind of the same model. So it'll be a bunch of ROMs on an arcade that's specifically designed for that. I have a feeling what JohnD is doing is going to be something a little bit different. Like the fans have been asking for Arcade1Up to do an a la carte style cab for a long time. So I just got a weird feeling about this. And, I don't have any inside information. I'm just telling the truth right now. I have a weird feeling what John's looking at doing is we may see company specific a la carte type cabs. So obviously, if you take a look at my thumbnail, one of the things I very specifically did was on JohnD's arcade cabinet that I put out there, made it blue and yellow because the man has the Capcom connections, has been touched with Capcom for years. So where I think this is going is JohnD could possibly make some kind of Capcom home arcade. And then that Capcom home arcade, you're going to have your fighting controls on it, but then you can go and possibly buy more games that'll work on that arcade and work on that arcade configuration. That's my theory on what JohnD's working on. That's my idea. So then if he works with Konami, you can get a Konami arcade and it might have I don't think it's just going to be like a white cab with Konami on it. Obviously it's going to be based on some game, but I think again, it'll be some kind of a la carte type cab based on a company. So think iArcade, except like Arcade1Up, and then you only add games for specific companies. I know it's a wild concept, a wild idea. Just stick with me with it. I think this is what he's doing, because I don't know. One of the feedback things that Arcade1Up constantly had was, not enough games. And sometimes, like, I would scratch my friggin' head on that, because not enough games on the midway cab. So let's stick Defender and Paperboy and other games on there that make no sense because the control configuration doesn't work. So there's that. But at the same time, there's a possibility something like a Big Blue, that Big Blue cab that Arcade1Up released, or even the Dynamo they just released, which is absolutely beautiful. You could put a bunch of friggin' games on that, not just fighting games, but also the beat 'em ups, other shit like that. And it all works with that controller and configuration and with the screen orientation. So that's my guess. You release a Capcom cab with that fighting setup, and then you can get all these other games through DLC or a la carte, add them. That's what I think he's doing. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Maybe it's something completely else. But if anybody has a chance of doing something like an arcade recreation, I think it's JohnD's company. At least in 2024, we know New Wave Toys will eventually do it, and they're gonna kill it. I was hoping that it'd be more this year, but I think it'll be next year. So we'll wait to see what New Wave Toys are doing. I know 19K Fox is excited for Glenn's control panel things and the ideas behind Glenn's control panel things. I'm just going to be honest with you. Love Glenn, love New Wave Toys. I always thought this is something Arcade1Up could do. I just don't know if I'm excited for control panels. Maybe if they do a different game, like something will change. But like for me, Golden Tee, I don't give a shit. But kudos to them. Great, glad for them. It's just I'm not excited for the control panels. Not yet. Not until they do something that really wows me. And so far, it hasn't been yet. When the big arcades come, in the future years, that's what I'm really excited about. That's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to enjoy my replicades until then. And when big arcades hit, whoo baby! I mean, watch out. Most of my money will be going towards New Wave Toys, because they're going to do what hopefully Arcade1Up can't, and not have to sell directly to the retailer. So we'll see. Anyways, a little bit of a tangent there, I know. Yeah, see, Chris, this is the downfall on this one too, and everybody knows that. JohnD, like he's got his toes in everything when it comes to the home arcade space and all the companies, but he has a very big passion for the fighting game community. I mean, like if you stalk his social media, like he was out with Rev. You guys remember Rev there the other night? Like he loves the fight game community, loves the concept. So I mean, there's probably a good chance what John's doing is tied to fighting, and especially if he's doing something with Capcom. I mean, Capcom is the house that Mega Man built, but I mean, like it's also so intertwined with Street Fighter and the fighting game community. So yeah, I think there'll be a big proponent to fighting games with what John does. And I think a lot of people blame John for the fact that most of the games that came through Arcade1Up over the years, there was a ton of fighting games, and we all talked about fighter fatigue. But yeah, I don't know what to say, man. I think obviously there'll be fighting games, but with those fighting game cabs, so say for example, it's a Capcom cab, probably a good possibility it's going to be a Street Fighter cab if it's branded, but it's not going to just be Street Fighter games that you can play on it. It'll probably have the fighting game layout, but of course, if they do the a la carte, like I think they're going to do, it's going to be a bunch of beat 'em ups and stuff, other Capcom lineups. The other one that I would like to see JohnD get his hands on was the idea he had for Arcade1Up. And it was really disappointing that they weren't going to do it, because I always said if Arcade1Up were to ever do a Neo Geo cab, they would be the worst company to do it, because if they had their hands on the Neo Geo's license, they would do like a King of Fighters cab and then have like really stupid King of Fighters art. It would never be an arcade recreation. It would just be something really fucking dumb. But the idea that John had and on that leaked list, I really liked. It was an XL big red cab, and then all the games you could add to it were like a la carte, kind of like the Atgames Legends pinball back there. So I mean, that's the right way to do an arcade recreation of a big red. I think like the MVSX was an amazing idea. Hate the fucking control panel on that. Hate trying to play that with my knees up against it. Wish the control panel extended out so I could put my knees under it. So it was really cool, and I'm glad they got it instead of Arcade1Up when they did. But the idea John had for it, that a la carte cab in the XL form factor, that was really special. So if Arcade1Up don't do it, I would love to see Media1Up do it, and I think that would be a really good idea. Thor KC says, Michael B, if GRS made a pedestal that you can mount permanently or swap out the control panel and use any HD TV to have arcade scale setup, that would also put the Replicade on display. Would you buy? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like something that was like a GRS ultimate control panel like he did for the iArcade. I don't know. To be honest, like I love Glenn. I didn't like that GRS ultimate control panel. I didn't like some of the placement of everything. Like Glenn is awesome, but like some of the stuff like the spinner where it was and the trackball, like I think it's awesome that he's trying to accommodate so many people, but I mean, the iArcade control panel already feels a little bit cramped with just the fighting buttons. So I was a little bit concerned about that. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If Glenn made a pedestal that you can mount permanently or swap out the control panel and use any HTV, maybe. Like I think that was the idea with that Projectorcade, that you would have different control panels you could swap out. Like there was a Pac-Man, they showed a Golden Tee. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. Who's moving to Canada? Okay, here we go. What is it? Cable. Question off topic. I and my family are planning on relocating for good from the US to Canada and was wondering if I can pick your brain about it. I don't know. I don't know. Like if you're a Canadian citizen, I am not the best person to talk to. I'd be more than happy to talk to you offline sometime about it and try to answer your questions. I don't know if now will be the best time, and yeah, I don't know if I'd be the best person to speak to. Canada can be awesome if you're a Canadian citizen. There's lots of benefits, especially with the healthcare, but there's lots of drawbacks too. So yeah. Make a control deck with the swappable overlays. Yeah. With Glenn's partnership with Sinden, maybe New Wave Toys will do a shooter cab replica combined with a control deck to house the guns and play on TV. Guaranteed, New Wave Toys next project with Glenn is going to be Big Buck Hunter. They're going to do all the bar games. And all us 80s fans are going to be like, son of a bitch. No, the Projectorcade would have fallen apart immediately when people started to play it. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. And yes, offline, I'm okay with that. I know right now isn't the proper time. Yeah, man, shoot me an email or something, and maybe we can talk about it. So last but not least, just really quickly, then we also have the option that isn't, I don't think it's going to be a replacement for Arcade1Up, but I mean, in terms of new products, it's the only one we officially know about and know is coming out at the end of the year, and that's the Atgames Legends Ultimate 4K. Obviously, it's coming out with a art package that people are questioning, have some problems with currently for the Killer Instinct art. So, I mean, it looks like that's the final version now. We'll see where they go with it. I really like the new form factor they're going with, changing it so it has that top that comes out and looks more like a traditional arcade. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm also very interested to see what new things can be done with it. I know that John Wagner just put out a video the other day on the general loader, how that worked for the Legends Pinball 4K. I'm wondering how playing arcade games will work on it and what we can get working. That's what I'm really excited about. I mean, right now, I have no idea why you would ever swap out your original ALU. You can pretty much do everything with it. So the only reason I would want to replace my ALU or get a new ALU is if it does more. So that's what I'm excited about right now. We only know that this thing is going to have a more powerful processor, and it's going to possibly come bundled with the rare games, and it's got Killer Instinct art, and that's cool and stuff. But I want to know more about what it does. So I'm interested to see when Atgames give us some information on what new things it's going to do. Obviously, play arcade games in 4K. Okay. I didn't design the Earth, you son of a gun. uh, yeah, maybe not the right time to talk about it. That's a good point. It is Memorial Day, as a matter of fact. So let's maybe save it for another time. Bonos, Tecmo, that's a fair point. Memorial Day is definitely probably not the time to talk about leaving the U.S. And, much respect to everybody who has fought and served in the U.S. Thank you very much. ALU sounds like AARP, possibly. So that's the one we know about right now. That's coming out end of the year. That's all we know right now. So right now, here we are. I will go back to my original statement. Excited to see what Buy Stuff Arcades does. I think it's going to be multicade based. I think you're going to be able to skin it whatever the hell the way you want. I think it's going to be a little bit pricey. That comes with the territory, but I think the quality is going to be super good. When it comes to Evercade, I think it's going to be something really cool. It's going to play the Evercade carts, specifically arcade ones. It's going to be a good home for those carts, much better than playing the arcade games, either on the VS or on the EXP, but I don't know if it's going to be a competitor or replacement for Arcade1Up. Definitely not in the large-scale arcades. JohnD, wildcard. Media1Up, wildcard. I think he's going to try to compete with Arcade1Up or have a product in the same realm. I just don't know what that product's going to be. I don't think it's going to be exactly Arcade1Up adjacent. I think it's going to be something different. And look at this. Look at his name here. I don't know if I can share this. You got to read his name here. That's changed too. So I just noticed that, and I want to bring this up and share this with you guys. So, purveyor of proto culture, 28 plus years, video game marketing, licensing, production, and business development veteran, former Sega, Sony, Capcom, and Arcade1Up executive. Purveyor of proto culture. Very interesting. No background. Oh, come on, John, get with the times. You got to put a background up there too. So, anyways, that's where I stand on this. Battletoads cab, rare cab. A lot of people want that, I know, but I don't know if that's going to be coming. Anyways, for those of us who want an arcade recreation like Arcade1Up, there's only two choices in 2024. JohnD, who was at that media conference last week, and of course, where the hell's my thing here? And of course, our good friends at Arcade1Up. Don't count them out yet. I know it's been a slow year. Of course, we've only got X-Men 97 and Golden Tee Deluxe so far. But there might be something new on the horizon, friends. There might be something new on the horizon that I wanted to tell you about. So I saved this earlier. I got a notification on my LinkedIn feed, and of course now it won't come up, and I had to save it from my phone because I couldn't recreate it going into the LinkedIn profile. But I just want to show you this. Arcade1Up 5 days ago, we were absolutely thrilled to be a part of the electrifying lineup at Shop Talk Europe 2024. Join Arcade1Up at our arcade lounge on the show floor for some serious fun amidst all the innovation and insights. From nostalgic gaming to cutting-edge retail strategies, it's all happening here. Can't wait to connect, learn, and have a blast with fellow retail enthusiasts. See you there. Arcade1Up, Shop Talk Europe. So I guess the next thing we're going to hear from Arcade1Up in the near future is at Shop Talk Europe. Now, you're probably wondering the same as me. What the fuck is Shop Talk Europe? Why are they going there? Why are you at the licensing conference? Go get some new games. Oh. Anyways, I got to figure out what Shop Talk Europe is here now because I have never heard of it in my entire life. And I'm not, maybe I'm Shop Talk Europe. Maybe I'm being too hard on them. Transforming Europe's retail ecosystem. So I don't know if this is anything to do with Accept All Cookies. Looking to provide retailers or consumer brands with my tech solution. I'm a retailer consumer brand looking to transform my business. Yes, I am. So I think the reason why they're going is probably to go and show off their products. I know in the US right now, I don't think retail has been their friend in the US right now. So maybe they're looking at different markets, trying to broaden their approach in Europe. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I'm here in Canada, so I mean, I'm relatively close, and we've been lucky enough to get most of the releases from Arcade1Up up until the last couple of years. I mean, like last year, it sucked. We couldn't get Fast and the Furious; just never came here. Yeah. Rates Retrocade, 279 Canadian super chat. Don't care what he calls it. Need new machines. Thank you very much, Rates Retrocade. I think you're talking about JohnD and Media1Up. I agree too. We want some new stuff. Hopefully, JohnD fits into that niche that right now Arcade1Up is not giving us in the home arcade space. So yeah, we'll see. Thank you very much for the super chat. Toxin says he doesn't see arcades doing well in Europe. You'd be surprised, Toxin. Don't count them out. But I did want to talk about this. I've had a load of people come to my page over the years, and like I'll mention deals or something I got in there. Like, man, I wish we could get Cab X in Europe, Dragon's Lair, or something like that. So, as much as it's easy to shit on this and be like, what does this have to do with anything? You know, maybe it is good. Maybe it is good so people over in Europe maybe have more access to categories because, again, like I said, I certainly felt that last year when we couldn't get Fast and the Furious and a lot of titles weren't coming to Canada. Like, it kind of sucked. It kind of made me pissed off at Arcade1Up. Pissed me off that the XLs aren't going to be coming to Canada anymore because they go through, stop showing this website, Thumper Squid says. All right, Thumper, just for you. It pissed me off last year that, the Costco deal because, like, say, for example, Arcade1Up does come out with something really friggin' cool in the XL line this year. I mean, I doubt it. What I'm hearing is Golden Tea or something along those lines. No one knows what it is. The other rumor is Miss Pac-Man, which I'm much more interested in getting, but it's not super, super exciting. But say, for example, they came out with something super friggin' exciting in XL this year. I am stuck, and I can't get the fucking thing. So what I've got to do is then I've got to figure out a way, and I'm lucky in the fact that I have enough friends that somebody will probably pick it up for me. Then I got to get it shipped here, which is probably going to cost like $400 in shipping. So, like, in order to get it, I got to go above and beyond and pay these outrageous prices to get this up. So, I mean, it's a pain in the ass. Now think about how hard it is for places like Europe, and I've got friends in Australia always trying to get this stuff, and like the lengths they have to go to get something specifically they want. It's unreal. So, as much as I'd like to shit on this, they do need to improve their distribution lines. The other thing too is what's really holding Arcade1Up back right now is the fact that distribution has slowed down. Retail distribution slowed down so much in the US. So if they can open up new chains, Canada has a small demographic, small footprint for both Atgames and Arcade1Up. So we're not the avenue, but maybe somewhere in Europe, maybe a retailer over in Europe like picks them up. Maybe they're the ones that then fund new projects. You want to get an Alien versus Predator approved. Well, Best Buy's not buying it. Shop Hippo's not buying it. But all of a sudden, a European retailer says, yeah, we'll buy 7,000, we'll buy 7,000 Alien versus Predator. that gives them the money to go get it funded and done, and that makes that cab happen. And hopefully we get it over here in Canada. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm overly optimistic, but maybe this is a cool thing. Where we go. Anyways, guys, I don't know what this means, Dooner. Hopefully Cyrus doesn't stay at a Slovakian hostel and might not end well. Is that from the movie Hostel? Hostel? Anyways, guys, yeah, I've kept you for about an hour now. I don't want to keep you too much longer than that. It's just weird because here we were last week talking about how there was no hope for anything to come up. Then, like, out of nowhere, like the world turned around in a 360. We had all these companies come out of the blue. Evercade with the Alpha, Buy Stuff Store showing off their shit. JohnD going to a licensing conference and all of a sudden leaking the name Media1Up on people. Things can change pretty quickly, I guess. But nothing's for certain, nothing's for sure, nothing's a replacement or competitor for Arcade1Up. Everything's in the ether space right now. We don't know shit, but at least we'll know some stuff in the coming weeks. We've got Evercade Alpha announcement coming up this Thursday. Excited to see what they have in store. I think you guys will dig it if it's exactly what I think it is. Then after that, Buy Stuff Store have absolutely no idea what they're making. Mad scientists. Can't wait to see what that is. And JohnD, as he stopped in to tell us, the rumors about his company deal falling through are false. Everything's still going ahead. So excited to see what JohnD has. And hopeful that Arcade1Up still has some life, still got something cool lined up for later this month. Please don't hurt me no more, Arcade1Up. I can't stand it no more. What? Black and white Godzilla premium rumor coming back up again. Why would you want a black and white Godzilla premium? That game is so beautiful. I don't know. Stern will milk anything, man, but Godzilla's beautiful. Why would you want a black and white version? I'm sure it would be gorgeous and it would celebrate the anniversary because Godzilla was originally a black and white film. I get it, but it's like that Elvira Blood Red edition. Like, why would I ever buy that? I just want the regular Elvira. Different strokes for different folks, I guess. Anyways, guys, that's everything for me tonight. What did we learn? Probably nothing, but, you know, I've learned that JohnD, in Danger Dog's opinion, biggest legend, and his company is Media1Up. I would love to play pinball now, John Calvin Wong, but it is 11:35 p.m. Eastern time. I've got about 25 minutes before my eyeballs go completely in the back of my head because I have to get up at 6:30 with my two kids tomorrow morning. I am really slacking on everything lately, like struggling to find time to do stuff. And I appreciate so much you guys coming, hanging out with me here tonight to talk about all this stuff. And hopefully there's some fun in the future. I like someone asked me earlier, have I installed my SSF kit? No, I still haven't, but I've got some cool stuff lined up tomorrow. I worked on this. I filmed it. I've been filming it for like a week. And I filmed some stuff on Saturday with my daughter, hung out with her all day. Didn't get time on Saturday to do it. Didn't get time on Sunday to do it because it was my son's baptism. We were busy all day. Finally, this afternoon, I managed to find some time. So it's scheduled for tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern time, episode 4 of Store Surfing. And this may be our funnest episode ever or worst. I don't really know, but check out tomorrow for episode 4 of Store Surfing. I'm going to go into the Edmonton, Calgary, Alberta stuff with the dude. So anyways, check that out tomorrow. Go Dallas Stars 3-2 late in the second. No, go Edmonton. I need Edmonton to win. Canada hasn't won a cup since 1993. Anyways, guys, wild and exciting times. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Monday night. Happy Memorial Day weekend. This is MichaelBtheGameGenie. Tell your friends about me, and I'll talk to you next time.